Good morning, everybody. A very pleasant Saturday morning. College football back in full force today, and we'll get you ready for that here pretty soon. 615 Prep Scoreboard is live. Chris, Joe, Scott, and Cam. Good morning, everybody, guys. How we feeling?
I'm good.
Tired.
I'm not as good as Cam with his picks, but yeah. No, I'm good.
Yeah, a lot to talk about. Scott, your turn.
Oh no, I was just saying. I heard a ding. Is that every time a bell rings, a referee gets his wings. No.
Just a reminder. I do want to put a reminder out there for everybody watching this. The way we do this, the games are in order alphabetically. We'll do Thursday night and then Friday night because a lot of people are asking, "Have you talked about our game? Have you talked about our game?" Mm-hmm. Look at where we are alphabetically. If you're the away team, that's how it goes.
And this is always available online too. Yes. On our YouTube page. We can always go back to that, so you can see it literally whenever the show's over. So if you miss it, go back. You can check it out.
Yep.
Yeah. So
and watch it twice.
Was loaded. Yeah, why not? Week 2 was loaded. Had a lot of great matchups, a lot of fun games out there, and a lot to talk about. But before we get into that, just want to get your guys' general opinion on what you saw last night.
Yeah, you said it. I thought week 2 was a lot better from a execution standpoint across the board from what I've seen from highlights in the game that I was at. Week 1 is always filled with a lot of mistakes, but it seemed like a lot of teams got those corrected, and you could tell players that maybe were making their first start last week look a lot more comfortable this week. If that's a sign of things to come, this is going to be a really, really fun season.
Yeah, I think Cam, you're right. Games we were at seemed a lot cleaner as far as penalties go. You didn't see near as many penalties, near as many nitpicky type stuff penalty wise. It seems like I don't think I saw a single call for knee pads last night. So hey, things are looking up.
You know what? I didn't either. That's promising.
I don't think I did either.
Yeah,
or mouth guards.
I'm pretty sure last year we were harping on that after week 3 or 4. So to not be talking about that as much over week 2, it's promising. So
I will harp on it. I will harp on it until the end of time because it's stupid.
That's fair. That's very fair.
All right, Noah from the top row right off the bat. Why do you hate White's Creek? I'll hang up and listen. I'm just not a big snake guy. My girlfriend's afraid of snakes. She makes me get rid of them if we ever see them. But in reality, I am a big White's Creek guy, Cobra Kai. So we'll talk about them beating some imaginary team here in a bit.
I was about to say.
I will vouch for Joe on this. He is a tremendous Cobra Kai guy.
Yes. I wore my shirt today.
Well, let's dive right into it. To start with those Thursday night games, as we talked about, Blackman and Cane Ridge. Blackman, this was a slow start for Blackman. Caught the first half of this one before I had to go to another game. They blocked a punt for a score. Cane Ridge's points came on a scoop and score in the second quarter, but Blackman rolls 42-6.
Yeah, Blackman's defense held Cane Ridge to like 58 total yards in this game. The Blaze defense just did a number. Javion Elliott ran for a score, threw for another, and Jabari Kemp had a couple of scores.
Yeah, to me, it really seems like, and we'll talk about this with another team here shortly too, but slow starts maybe a little bit for Blackman. Last week, 7-6 at halftime against Clarksville, 14-6 this week against Cane Ridge. But, man, did they turn it on in the second half. But, as you said, there's one consistent thing there, and their defense has been dominant so far this season.
Blackman now 2-0 with that win. Cane Ridge drops to 0-2 with the loss. The game that I went to in that second half, Stewart's Creek and Stratford, it was 28-0 Stewart's Creek for a while. Stratford scored 18 unanswered to make this interesting early in the second half, but the Redhawks ultimately roll 49-18 to improve to 2-0. A tough scene, though, at the end of the final minute. Andrew Robinson with a pretty serious injury for Stewart's Creek. He was down for several minutes, had to be carted off, and don't have an update on his condition, but certainly all the best wishes for him and his family.
Yeah, that's from all of us. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah. I was just going to say Jamarcus Brown, picks up where he left off from week 1, 11 carries, 137, 4 touchdowns for Stewart's Creek. Jerry Taylor had a good night, 135 yards passing. Stewart's Creek. It kind of surprised me with Stratford coming back, though.
Jamarcus probably leading the area in rushing right now, yeah?
I would think so.
I would think so.
He would almost have to be.
Stewart's Creek off to 2-0 start. Stratford falls to 0-2 with that loss. Also in the Murfreesboro area Thursday night, and Cam, you were actually at this game, Cannon County and Providence Christian. Some of us have egg on our faces after this one.
We all do.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
And what a job Coach Ferguson has done over at Providence Christian. Every time we seem to talk about them, we talk about, they're a program that's going to be here at some point. They may be here. They may be a contender in D2 single A as far as, who gets to play Nashville Christian at some point. But what a night for Zayden Ronner. He returns a punt like 50 yards. It gets called back, and then he returns another one 80 yards for a touchdown. He mossed 2 guys for Cannon County. Unfortunately, Cannon County's quarterback, Eli Garrett, goes down on the last play of the first half. Did get a message from him. I think he's going to be good to go next week. I think that was probably a precautionary thing, so that's good news for Cannon County. But, yeah, a huge night for Providence. Was able to score right before the half and then score twice in the first 3 minutes of the second half to turn a 14-7 game into a 35-7 game. So that really swung the game. And, Providence Christian looked apart on Thursday night.
Yeah. Nate Lamb, quarterback for Providence, had a really good night, 3 touchdowns, 154 yards passing. And their defense is pretty good. Their defense is pretty good. Porter Dedman also had 96 yards rushing and a touchdown, had a reception for 65 yards and he just took it to the house. So, yeah, Providence is a real deal.
Yeah, I want to post this real quick. Buddy Chris Bozen over at Aero Sports. Andrew was having surgery Friday, according to Stewart's Creek staff. Waved to the fans, was uplifting as he left. It was, that was good to see. So hopefully the news is promising for him, and best wishes, as we said, for him and his family.
Yeah, that's great.
Chris, real quick. Yeah, I guess they did. I just didn't notice it because the game was that good. Plus, I was filming 2 video streams, so I really didn't have time to notice stuff like that. So, that's fair. Anyway, onward at 42-13, Providence Christian over Cannon County, and the Lions now 2-0. And a battle of Lions goes to the ones at PCA that played that game in MTSU, and that's something they'll have their home games at MTSU, I think, for the rest of the season, and hopefully be on campus starting in 2026. On to the Friday games. Antioch and East Nashville played quite the barn burner.
Yeah, they did. It was a great football game. Took both teams a little bit to get started. 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. Then Antioch, East Nashville scores on a KJ Johnson touchdown, and then Antioch finds a Andre Adams to Aiden Adams connection for Aiden's first varsity touchdown, the freshman younger brother of Andre. A little bit of a prelude into the story that you'll read at some point today from Connor. Huge night for Andre Adams with Antioch. Responsible for all 4 touchdowns, 3 through the air, 1 on the ground. Unfortunately, East Nashville was without Kenny Fuller in this game. And then, of course, KJ Johnson goes down at some point in the second quarter and does not return. So, unfortunate there. Hope that's nothing serious. Would love to see KJ back. That's one of the things a lot of people there for East Nashville were counting on this season was Kenny and KJ. And so hope they get back healthy quickly. But this was a really, really good football game, a very contested football game. The spirits were very high. Got a little chippy at a couple times, but I thought both teams coaching staffs did a great job of getting things riled back in and focusing on the game of football.
Yeah, 32-27 winner for Antioch to improve to 2-0. East Nashville 0-2, but I think for the Eagles, you have to be encouraged by the way they played in 2 games.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're one of those teams where we said the record isn't going to indicate how good this team is. So, they're playing a brutal schedule. It's what it is.
Yeah, not to look ahead. Antioch has, and don't want to jinx them here, but they have 4-0 written all over them. They play West Creek next week, and then I think it's McGavick the week after that. They could be 4-0 going to play at Centennial in week 5.
Beach gets into the win column for the first time this year. They shut out Mount Juliet 29-0 last night, and the Buccaneers needed that kind of performance after week 1.
Yeah, because of the nature of the physical nature of the matchup, Caden Powell played 6, I think, out of the 8 series in this game. Chelton Swafford scored twice, just a great result for a Beach defense that needed to bounce back after that first week loss at Green Hill.
Yeah, I'm not overly shocked by this one. Just thought Beach was going to out physical them after how they played week 1 against Green Hill. And like we said, Mount Juliet rebuilding a lot right now. It is what it is. A lot of young guys having to step up. And, Beach just – this is what they're going to do to a lot of teams this year. Really good performance by their defense, too. Nice bounce-back week.
Battle of Granny White goes to Brentwood Academy, 45-21. The Eagles take it over Brentwood. BA now 2-0.
Sorry, Tyson. Rough outing for the Bruins last night. It's not overly shocking though. I thought Brentwood Academy just maybe a little better this year. They had a really good night. Cruz Jenkins threw for 181 yards and 3 touchdowns. Larry Sanders had a monster game, 185 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. And Kashawn Bowman just doing what Kashawn Bowman does, 62 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns on 4 receptions. Did your job there, Scott. I got you.
That's all right, man. It's all right.
All right. Well, Joe, I can hand this off to you because the game you were at last night, Clarksville and Springfield.
Yeah, battle for the bridge. Springfield losing 2 in a row right now to Clarksville. They need the bridge back. This gets them going, though. Snap over the head of the punter for Clarksville. They recover it, but sets Springfield up with great position. Jaden Hurst bullies his way into the end zone for 6. Springfield on top early, and this game kind of flew by. A lot of running. This is a run-heavy game. Check out this play here, though. Jermaine Cobbins just strips it away. Just a monster run for Clarksville, and he strips it away. He's a sophomore, folks. Just a sophomore. Fumble here, recovered by Springfield. We had about a stretch of 6 plays where these two teams turned the ball over 4 times. It was insane. Right here, Clarksville is going to get their get back, though. They're going to pick off a Kason Woodson pass. Really nice diving play there by number 2 for Clarksville. The Wildcats are in a good spot, but they can't take advantage of it. Springfield here at the end of the half. Jaden Hurst is going to punch it in one more time, his second of the night, and Springfield's rolling at the half. However, Clarksville, their first drive of the second half, they marched down the field. Big pickup here to get them in scoring position. And a couple plays later, they'll punch it in for their first points of the night and only points of the night. Nice little outside run here. Clarksville on the board. Jermaine can't get to him enough. However, Springfield would start their next drive on their own 5-yard line. This is a big 2nd and 20 after a hold. Jaden Hurst takes a little screen pass, gets just enough yardage out of it for the first down. Then a couple plays later, Lamarius Dallin, he'll punch it in here for 6 more. Clarksville wouldn't go away, though, guys. They just kind of nip and tuck their way down the field. Check out this catch right here. Kind of an incredible catch. Again, Clarksville, not a passing team. Beautiful ball. Receiver just takes it away, sets them up deep in Springfield territory with about a minute or so to go. And now it's 4th down for Clarksville. They need something here, and Springfield's defense will rise up. They'll get the sack, secure the win, and for the first time in school history, the bridge is back at Springfield.
Yeah. Clarksville, I know the score is may not indicate it, but this was a smash mouth game.
Mm-hmm.
Clarksville just would not go away. Their defense kept them in the game. And make no mistake, Clarksville was playing without some key pieces on offense. Their starting running back was out. Both of their starting wide receivers were out. And they kept this game close. This is a Clarksville team that is going to make some noise as the season goes on. But just a good gritty win for Springfield, and that's what matters. They came out with the victory.
Yeah, they showed last night that they can. Honestly, the last 2 weeks, they ain't gonna win pretty a lot of the time. Just win, and that's what they're doing. They have a really punishing ground game. Their offensive line looks really good at times. Teams are blanketing Jermaine Cobbins, and they're making them pay by rushing the ball. But really, really impressive win for Springfield. Episode 2 of Into the Hive that'll drop here, not next week, but the following week. And if you haven't already checked out episode 1, it's up on our YouTube channel now. So go check that out.
Springfield to 2-0 with that win. Clarksville drops to 0-2. Clay County knocks off Smith County last night 14-7, and the Bulldogs are 1-1 after that win over the Owls.
Another one we all got wrong.
Yeah.
FRA 40-14 winners over Cookeville. The Panthers, another kind of slow start for them, but they exploded the second half.
Yeah, exactly the team that I was preluding to earlier. I think it was 14-14 at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Last week
It was.
they were 14-8 against South Gibson last week, and they won like 43-14 or 43-21. Same thing this week. I don't think Coach Geisinger is going to complain, but he's got something to build with for sure.
Yeah, I don't know what he said at the half, but you're right, Cam. It was tied at 14 at the half, and the FRA came out, shut down the Cavs, and scored 26 unanswered points. Mike Hassel and Quadir Fletcher, both with 100 yards. Hudson Holman, 240 yards in the score. FRA just came out in the second half and took over.
Yeah, those slow starts, they're not going to be good against this next team we're talking about. This BGA whips Columbia Academy 69-0.
You better not have any lulls when you play BGA. It don't matter if it's a slow start, a bad second quarter, a bad third quarter. You can't have a bad quarter.
Yeah, they're different.
Go ahead.
God.
Caden Marable doing Caden Marable things. 214 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, a rush for another. Just BGA is a juggernaut on offense.
And apparently defense.
Yeah. Wildcats flying high to start at their 2-0 after 2 weeks. Eagleville also with a shutout, 42-0 over Community. The Eagles pick up their first win of the year.
Big win for the Eagles getting on the score or win sheet. Just really impressed. Again, they're a team in 1A that I think could make some noise this year. Their lone loss at the moment is to PCA, and we saw what PCA did this week.
Right. Benton Fox, pretty efficient, 3 out of 4 passes for 139 yards and 3 touchdowns. Marshall Fields with 103 yards receiving, 2 scores and a rushing TD as well. So offensively and defensively, Eagleville gets it done.
Lawson gets it done over Creekwood 19-13 to put the Lightning in the win column.
Yeah, good rebound win after a tough week 1 game against Brentwood Academy. This Lawson team is one of those teams that we talked about. Can they make the next step there in 5A to be a threat in the playoffs?
Dixon County goes to Laverne and wins 38-14, and the Cougars start off 2-0.
Yeah, this Dixon County team is very interesting. They are playing very well early in the season.
DCA falls on the road at Jackson Christian 31-6, and those records are wrong. Just ignore them. Wildcats fall to 1-1 with that loss.
Yeah, tough outing out, and that was in Jackson, correct?
Yes,
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard to really tell on this game. We'll know more here in a couple of weeks once we see some results from both teams going forward.
All right, I know you guys are wanting to see highlights from this one. Ainsworth and Nashville Christian. We go to West Nashville at Keaton Field with the Eagles hosting in their home opener, and this one was wild from the get-go. Ainsworth gets it started early. Taylor Hasselbeck on the scramble. He's going to keep it himself and go 39 yards to put Ainsworth up 7-0 early on. And the Tigers looked like they just might have something for them last night. And it got worse for Nashville Christian before it got better. Next clip here is going to be Jaden Pyatt on their next series, going in from 10 yards out, finds the edge. Untouched into the end zone, it's 14-0 Tigers. But Nashville Christian, Jared Curtis and the guys decided they were just not going to take it. Little tush-push action there to get him in the end zone, 14-7. Early in the second quarter, 7:20 left in the first half, as you can see on the scoreboard. And at 20-6 after E.J. Gibson's TD run, Jared's just going to find running room. Scramble, make guys miss. This is a 22-yard touchdown for Nashville Christian. Jared Curtis cuts that lead to 20-13 at the half. Both teams had an extra point blocked in the first half. Curtis finds Caden Grigsby here in the third quarter. This tied the game at 20 apiece. And Keaton Field absolutely rocking a great atmosphere there last night as well. Probably a couple, 3,000 people maybe. Ainsworth right back down the field. E.J. Gibson again in the end zone, dives it in there and puts the Tigers back up 27-20. And then we're going to take it to the fourth quarter. This next play, Jared Curtis under heavy pressure somehow is going to find T.J. Ward with the flip pass. This is on fourth down as well to keep that drive going. Puts the Eagles first and goal from the 2, and on the next play, Jared Curtis from there is going to take it in himself. A 7 apiece. Ainsworth again goes right back down the field. No video of this, but Hasselbeck found Bishop Sterling for a 19-yard touchdown to put him up 34-27 with a couple minutes to go. Eagles right back down the field, and Jared Curtis is going to find Hudson Smith for the score. They're down 2. They've got to go for 2 to tie it. You think Curtis is going to run? Nope, jump pass. Colt McClary snuck in behind the defense. He gets the 2-point conversion. We go to overtime. First series. Hasselbeck hands it to E.J. Gibson. He fights his way into the end zone. It's 41-34 Ainsworth before Nashville Christian gets their snaps. Curtis is going to find Bryson Holt here in the front of the end zone under all sorts of pressure. Holt's there. They're down 1. They said, we're not playing another overtime. We're going to end it now. On the 2-point conversion, T.J. Ward, little help from her friend, pushing Jared Curtis in. He does get across the line. And absolute scenes at Nashville Christian as it's 42-41 Eagles. They win it in a wildwooded overtime over Ainsworth.
That 2-point conversion there just gives me nightmarish flashbacks of Notre Dame USC back, like the Bush push game. Good Lord.
Yeah.
But if you're an Eagles fan, you love it. Absolutely love it. Statement win for Nashville Christian last night.
Not a bad cartwheel from 74 right there either to end it.
No, anybody that judged us for having them in the top 10, shut up. Simple as that. Shut up. They're a top 10 team. They're one of the best teams in the state regardless of class. Ainsworth is a damn good team, and Nashville Christian statement win last night.
Yeah, these are 2 really good teams that went at it. Oh, God. Curtis is just a cheat code. I mean, he is a linebacker with an arm.
No, don't talk him up, Scott. We're not allowed to do that.
Listen, I'm going to enjoy watching Jared Curtis for about 13 more weeks, and then I'm going to hate watching Jared Curtis because he's going to be wearing red and black, and that is not good for the Tennessee Volunteers.
Big thing last night was him on the ground. I think we also with TJ Ward there, he's not going to run it a lot, but last night, the run game by him, and that little jump pass he ran it to perfection. So Ainsworth, you got to give a lot of credit to the Tigers. From what I saw, they look really good. EJ Gibson is an absolute dog. He's going to put up a lot of touchdowns and yardage this year. But last night was the test for Nashville Christian. They passed. I'll give you some rat poison, Eagles fans and Eagles players, coaches. Don't know if anybody else is going to test you like that this year.
Well, it's real simple, and I think we've talked about it a time or two. But it's easy when a team wins a state championship to not be hungry. They didn't go undefeated last year.
Yeah,
they want to go undefeated. You can clearly see that, and huge step in that direction last night.
And Jeff Brothers called this. Jeff Brothers called this the biggest win in school history. And
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. They've got 2 state championships, but this one was something else.
Yeah. Stat line for Curtis, 20-30 passing, 189 and 3 touchdowns, 16 carries, Joe, 131 yards and 2 scores.
Spoilers, there's a Player of the Week nominee.
Yep. Yeah, and for good reason. Joe Burns, a shutout win over Ballard Memorial out of Kentucky. They win it 40-0. Scott, did you pick the team out of Kentucky again?
He did.
Yeah, and that
Scott's
won't
Kentucky
happen again.
boy.
Mark my words. Mark my words. As much as a Kentucky boy as I was grown up being, I will never write it down, book it, whatever. I will never pick a Kentucky team over a Tennessee team again.
Proceeds to pick Greenwood next year.
No, it just won't happen. No,
Yeah.
I'll take the L if that's the case.
Yeah. Centennial 48-22 winners over Fairview. The Cougars bounce back from that week 1 heartbreaker to get in the win column.
The Cougars are putting up a ton of points, a ton of yards. The offense is clicking. Mitchell Grandjean is a perfect fit here. He's running that offense to perfection. Defensively, they still got some things to work on, but that's an impressive win for the for Centennial.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Go
Go ahead, Scott.
I was going to say, you brought up Mitchell Grandjean, 5 touchdown passes on the night, 2 to Malachi Steele, 2 to Gavin Johnson. DeMarcus Helm added a pair of 1-yard plunges. Centennial's just rocking on offense.
Yeah, I thought this game could be a little bit closer, especially with the way Centennial gave up so many yards on the ground last week to Stewart's Creek, and that's kind of what Fairview does too. So I thought this could be closer, but man, what a night for Mitchell Grandjean and the Cougars offense, and they keep putting up this amount of points. They're gonna be right there in that region.
That Page game looming on the horizon is going to be a fun one.
Mm-hmm. Show of hands, who had this one in your book last night? 35-0 Riverdale over Father Ryan.
I had a Riverdale win, but not a shutout win. So
Same. And I think the results this week, me and Joe were kind of defending Riverdale on the show this week, and that Knox Catholic team is a pretty darn good football team. They went and beat the number 2 4A team 28-7 on Thursday night. So no need to panic for the Warriors. That clearly shows in this result. Huge game next week.
Well, their defense was never really a big problem, and they took it out again this week on Father Ryan. 6 sacks, held Father Ryan to 6 first downs. Gavin Hampton, a good game, 16-23, 225, 2 scores. Jacob Vaughn, 98 yards and 2, including an 80-yard touchdown run.
Another one of the wild ones, Friendship Christian involved in it. They win 50-48 at Fayetteville. Commanders are 2-0.
Yeah, not how you drew it up for sure, but what a night for the Commanders. And I believe, Scott, you may have the numbers on this, but Walcott had a big night.
Oh yeah. I think anybody playing Friendship Christian just slapped their head when they saw that. This was a great game. It was 43 total points in the fourth quarter of this. Final drive with 1:23. The drive started. Friendship had the ball at their own 43. Drove down the field, kicked a field goal with 10 seconds left to go, and that was senior kicker Wilson Boyd with a 28-yard field goal with 6 seconds remaining to win it. Jaden McGowan was out injured. Yeah, freshman Ryder Walcott, 23 carries, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. Friendship, it's going to be and I expect it next week. I know I'm looking ahead, but they're playing Friendship is playing Mount Juliet next week. Yeah, it'll be Coach McNeil is going for win 300 in that one.
Gallatin gets a late score to knock off Franklin 23-20.
Jackson Stroop still having a really nice year. I think he threw for over 250 yards again, a couple touchdowns. I believe Gallatin scored with like a minute left or just under a minute remaining. So, again, we said old school football game, old school teams. It turned out to be every bit as exciting as we thought it would be. Not a big loss for Franklin because I think this is a really good Gallatin team. So this was a great ball game.
Yeah, really, really good win for Gallatin to go on the road early in the season after an emotional win over Hendersonville. They hadn't beat Hendersonville since 2019, so it's good to see them kind of keep the wave going, so to speak. No pun intended, but
Uh,
yes, huge night for Jackson Strapp. I think it was 31 of 43 for like 320 and 2 touchdowns. So
he's back. He's back to what he was his sophomore year, I think.
Yeah, but you can't.
Maybe better.
A really good showing for Franklin. Miles Putnam had 6 catches for 160 yards and a touchdown. Not a like you said. You don't like to see a loss, of course, but 2 good teams going at it, and Gallatin just finishes the game late.
Cheatham County, first win of the year for the Cubs. They win 40-20 over Glencliff.
Yeah, this game was weird. Go ahead, Joe.
No, go ahead, Scott. You're good.
I was going to say, Glencliff, had a 20-14 lead with 4:24 left in the third, and Cheatham County rolled up 26 unanswered, including 20 in the fourth quarter to seal this board.
Grace Christian.
First win for for Cheatham County. I don't think they won a game last year.
They did win a game last year, actually. They won 10. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grace Christian, 41-0 winners at Middle Tennessee Christian.
Yeah, I didn't have this one in the books. Good Lord. Grace Christian, another one of those D2A teams that we said it's going to be a crazy class outside of Nashville Christian. Sam Brewer, I think, the wide receiver for Grace Christian, had a pretty big night. The Lions are rolling right now. If you're a team named the Lions, you're having a pretty good start to the year, it seems like.
Need to add one more to that list, but okay.
Yeah, I feel that, Chris.
Yeah.
Middle Tennessee Christian just shot themselves in the foot, turned the ball over 5 times in the game. They gave up a punt block for a TD, a 22-yard pick six by Zachariah Rankhorn, and then Rankhorn had an 80-yard fumble return. The defense held Ali Bangura to only 66 yards rushing. This Grace Christian team is playing well on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, the Lions are off to a 2-0 start. Middle Tennessee Christian falls to 1-1. MBA, a 40-0 shutout winner over Hamilton in the Big Red 2-0.
Didn't have a 40 burger being put up by NBA, but shutout. Really impressive win. NBA defensively playing really well to start the year.
Yeah.
Overton in the win column. They beat Hillsborough 14-10.
I think last year this would have maybe been a bit of a shock to us. This year, again, Scott and I saw it against Procona in the scrimmage. Overton's got some guys, and defensively, the Bobcats they're going to be stout. They're going to put some teams on notice this year. I believe they're a playoff team. I really do. Really good win for them. One of their biggest wins in some time, I believe.
It is back-to-back years for Overton beating Hillsborough, however. So right now they've got the Burrows number. Speaking of having somebody's number, Oakland goes to Kentucky for a neutral site game and comes away with a 49-0 win over Huntington, West Virginia.
That's a statement. I mean,
yeah.
I mentioned it on the show. Oakland was 12 penalties away. They had 12 penalties against CPA. If they have 6 penalties, that game might be 42-14. Like, Oakland is just that good.
Yeah, this was a defensive and special teams victory for Oakland, really. Travion Jackson had 10 tackles, a sack, and a fumble recovery return for a touchdown. Killian Williams had a block punt return, 42 yards for a touchdown. Joel Wyatt, a 51-yard punt return for a touchdown. Special teams for Oakland is a point of emphasis for them, and it really carried them in this game.
Innovation Academy falls at Grundy County 64-6. The Sentinels still looking for their first win.
Rough.
Yeah, it's just rough. They're a young school. It's going to be rough for a little while.
East Robertson, a 24-0 winner over JP2.
Huge bounce back game for the Indians defense. To be able to shut out a JP2 team that has a really, really good coaching staff, a really good quarterback in Isaiah Batten. Big bounce back win for East Robertson. This we've said it enough on the show, but this is another reason why we moved them up in the 2A rankings. So
really good night for Casey Young. He threw for 187 yards, 2 touchdowns. He ran for another touchdown. Caleb McNeil didn't score, but 24 carries for 146 yards. That'll get the job done.
Yeah. Cade Brooks, a good night, 5 carries for 63 and 2 catches for 101 and a touchdown. Complete game out of the Indians.
White House Heritage 35-10 winners over Kenwood.
yeah, and Heritage graduated most of their weapons. A lot of people stopped talking about Heritage after a really good season last year. They still have Xavier Murray.
Yeah,
and they still have Cale Hunt in the backfield. He had 2 touchdowns rushing, and he returned a kick for a touchdown.
Independence falls 23-21 against Lincoln County. They had a chance to win it late, but missed a field goal at the end of the game.
Oof. Lincoln County in the 5A scene this year, man. Cam, you kind of hit it right on the head. Lincoln County is a team to keep an eye on.
Yeah, this was a game that I had circled this week, just because Lincoln County was able to knock off Marshall County last week by 1 point, 21-20, and then Scott Blade and Indy 2.0 had a big win over Rockville. So I was interested to see who could come out on top in this one, but it definitely seems like Lincoln County it could be a force there in 5A. Shout out Coach Dobbs.
If you're going to try to get Independence, you better get them this year, because I think that this program is just going to get better and better.
Macon County's 2-0. They've beaten Westmoreland 6 straight years. They're 35-15 winners over the Eagles.
You got to feel
that big night.
That Chris.
Go ahead, Joe.
I said you got to feel a little bit good about that, Chris. Really good night for the Tigers. They've figured this thing out. Said last week, it's a program now. I mean, this is what they do.
Yeah. Matthew Willie had a good night. Rushed 20 times for 114 yards, 2 scores, 3 for 66 through the air. Just a really good night for Macon County.
Dalton says close game at the half again.
It was, yeah. Actually, Westmoreland led this game 9-7 after the first quarter, and Macon County led it 14-9 at the half, but then Tigers figured it out in the second half.
If you're Macon County, those slow starts, they're not great, but kind of like we talked with Coach Shoulders last week, you build upon those, and then the second half, Macon County is a completely different team. You fix that before you get into the meat of your region schedule, where they're going to compete at the top alongside Upperman.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot better than Kyle Shoulders for making second half adjustments.
No.
Yeah, I don't think you mentioned them competing with Upperman in that region. I don't think that gap is near as big as what everybody maybe expected it to be.
Good Pasture shuts out Maplewood 30-0. Cougars now 2-0.
I didn't have this one.
Yeah, good. I don't know I think you picked Good Pasture, Scott, but I don't think you had the score. Kane Stroud's fit in perfectly with the Cougars, boys. Like they figured this thing out. Rough year last year, but they're figuring things out. And that Davidson Academy game coming up in a couple weeks is quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And Harpeth falls to McEwen 23-20. The Indians drop to 0-2 with a loss.
Yeah, tough start for the Indians there.
McGavick gets a win over Hunters Lane 12-6 for the Raiders.
Yeah, Hunters Lane's a program trying to figure things out. McGavick kind of along the same boat. They're pretty down from where they were a couple of years ago, but good win for the Raiders, and maybe something to build upon.
Mount Juliet Christian falls on the road at Concord Christian 42-7.
Cam got this one right. We all picked Mount Juliet Christian. I hate you, Cam. I hate you so much.
Do some research.
Oh.
Sorry, I was working on an episode all week long and didn't have time for research. Go Syracuse.
All right.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure this is the first 11-man varsity win for Concord Christian, I believe.
Do some research. Figure it out.
Wait a minute. How can you do research on an 8-man football team?
They had an 11-man football team, but guess what? Both teams played last week.
All right, back on the rails. Davidson Academy 55-0 over Nashville Collegiate Prep.
Scott, what was the score at the end of the first quarter?
I believe it was 42-0.
That's all you need to know about this game.
Yeah, it was 42 in the 42-0 in the first quarter. Joshua Bolden with a 70-yard kickoff return starting the night off, and then he added a 12-yard reception. The Bears held Nashville Collegiate Prep to -3 total yards on 27 plays. If the stat line is right, Davidson Academy only ran 10 plays.
That's crazy.
I do not know if that's correct, but that's what was submitted. So,
yep. Nolensville knocks off Summit 23-21, and the Knights get their first win of the year.
Yeah, first win for Coach Stidham with the Knights. Summit, much better game this week compared to last week against Spring Hill. I know they didn't pick up the win this week, but a lot to improve upon there. Nolensville, there's going to be some growing pains, but to get a win on the board, that's a big W for them.
Yeah, Ryan Newell, good night, 238 yards passing with 2 touchdowns. Oliver Bender, 8 catches, 198, and 2 touchdowns.
Wilson Central's 2, and they're 45-14 winners over Northwest.
Great start for Coach Kuhn.
Yeah. Got to get that momentum going as they head into region play.
Yep.
This one, I think, Cam, you can go ahead and gloat. 44-21, Page over Green Hill.
No one likes Cam.
It speaks for itself.
Really,
Guys, the Page offense is the real deal.
Really, really impressive night for Cameron Cruz. 14-17 for 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. He connected with Drew Rimple, the other quarterback, 6 times for 63 yards and a touchdown. Caden Ackerman had a touchdown. Isaac Odie just keeps scoring touchdowns, and Pierre, 14 carries, 116 yards and a touchdown. Knight Wilson also back. Really good night for him. So
yeah, rumors of the Page defensive demise may have been premature. They came up with 2 huge turnovers, that a sack and a fumble. A sack and fumble and an interception by aforementioned Knight Wilson that set up short fields. But let's talk about Jonathan Baba. 14 points, the kicker for Page. 3 field goals, 5 extra points.
Gotta give kickers some love. Look, everybody said Page didn't play anybody last year en route to that state championship game. They're playing folks this year, and they are beating the tar out of them.
Yep.
All right, one more set of highlights to go to. This one also I wanted CPA with Pearl Cone coming over there. It's some new uniforms for both sides in this one too.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about the uniforms, but they're not bad. I don't know. It's weird seeing CPA wearing blue. I'll take this over for Tyson. Rawls Patterson getting CPA on the board here, I believe. Nice little run for him. I didn't think you could hurdle, but apparently you can. Actually, big game for him, leads to a Bradshaw Clem touchdown. Landon left here. I believe he's going to come up with a really nice run. Scott and I are very high on this kid. Saw him against Overton. Apparently it's a touchdown run. So Landon left getting the Firebirds on the scoreboard. Amarian Starnes, he's going to get going here. What a run. Good Lord. Impressive run for him. Steven Salter, he's going to, with the touchdown reception. That's not Steven Salter. Anyway, LJ Funk to Jalen Parker right here. Nice little screen pass. Leads to a big gain. Really impressive performance from the Pearl Cone offense after, struggling last week against NBA. Don't know really what that says about the CPA defense. LJ Funk, quarterback run here. We'll get to the play that has everybody talking here shortly because it's going to be interesting. Jack Van Orman, he's going to hit up Jefferson Brinson here at some point. Loading. Anyway, Jack Van Orman, Jefferson Brinson. We'll work on our guys with the video and editing. Everything's fine. Get CPA back in the game. Weston Williford collecting on, I don't know what happened there. Oh, he fumbled. It muffs the punt. LeBron Brooks recovers it. And here's the play everybody's talking about. Pearl Cone with a chance to really put this game away to start the fourth quarter. Is he in? Is it a touchback? What's going on? Why didn't the refs make the decision? Who knows? John Spears Walters, nice second last name. Scoop and score here, 99 yards to tie things up. And then CPA just kind of builds on momentum from right here. Jack Van Orman to Gabe Cable, the younger brother of Owen. Really nice run and catch here for Gabe. Apparently he's a freshman or sophomore, so that's a terrifying thought. And Preston Patterson interception, Bradshaw Clem with a fumble recovery, and CPA gets the job done here. So really, really impressive win for the Lions, but everybody's going to be talking about that scoop and score. Was it a touchback? Was it a touchdown? Who's to say? The refs have final say, and they said it was a touchdown for CPA, and it maybe should have been a touchback.
It did hit the pylon, and
It did.
everything I've been told is that the pylon is the goal line. So, you know,
It hit the
Pearl
pylon
Cone-
after the fumble, so it should have been a touchback, in my opinion.
Yeah. That's exactly. And so Pearl Cone does have beef with
Mm-hmm.
that call. But that being said, you've got to overcome those kinds of things. So I'm not going to say that was it was definitely a turning point in the game. Was it the turning
I think
point?
it
Hard to say.
was. I think it was because, Pearl Cone's got a chance to go up 2 scores there to start the fourth quarter.
That's a
They
14-point swing.
Yeah,
but
they really outplayed CPA, and then CPA gets a touchdown there on the 99-yard return, and next drives that CPA has, they go up, and then they add another one on. So that was the game right there, and it's hard not to say that Pearl has a gripe. Like that probably should have been a touchback.
Oh, it should have been a touchback.
No, there's no doubt.
It's not sugarcoated.
Yeah, there's no doubt that was.
I don't understand how the ref standing right there doesn't make that call.
Yeah. But bad calls are going to go every now and then. You got to overcome them.
Whenever these teams play, it's fireworks. That's just how it goes. It does not matter.
Yeah. So, and that might be that might be the one that sparks Pearl Cone to go scorched earth the next few weeks.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, they do have a Oakland matchup coming.
Yeah. Maybe if they had a more forgiving schedule, I would say yes.
Yeah. I didn't say win. I said go scorched earth.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I was, that we were concerned about, Joe, seeing these Firebirds early was their offense and their ability to run the ball. It seems that the offensive line kind of gelled in this game to put up 34 against CPA.
They got a really good 1-2 punch with Amarian Starnes and Landon Left. So Left, I believe, is only a junior. So there's your RB1 next year. That kid, he's going to be a problem.
Portland shuts out Liberty Creek 31-0. The Panthers 2-0.
Yeah, back-to-back shutout wins for Portland to start the year. I called my shot with them. I feel comfortable calling my shot with them. They outgained Liberty Creek 324 to 38 total yards. Key Dalton, 101 yards on 12 carries and 2 touchdowns. Avery Hughes had another really, really big night. The Panthers are nasty, folks. Like, this is a team that can compete for that region title. And if you want an old-school smash-mouth football game, Springfield at Portland week 3. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm contemplating on if I should go there or not.
Yeah, you mentioned his name, and I know there's probably several folks in the area that don't know the name yet, but Avery Hughes is the name to remember here. One of the better defensive linemen in our area.
Navy's getting a dude.
Dustin Rush has a comment there, Chris, on this game. That's a defense.
Mm-hmm.
That is a defense. That's a defense. After what Liberty Creek did last week against East Robertson, Portland allowing only 38 total yards is a statement.
Shout out to Dustin for providing me with the stats, too. He's kept me up to date with Portland. I'm telling you, I called my shot with them in the offseason. You could see it last year. It just didn't gel together.
I think the shot that me and you both were on during the preseason was Portland had a legitimate shot to finish second. I think so far what it's shown this through 2 weeks of the season, they have a shot to win the region championship.
Now, they haven't played as hard of the schedule maybe as Beach has. Beach had a much tougher game week 1. This week's a testament game for both, I think, both Portland and Springfield.
Yeah.
Franklin Christian gets its first win as a TSSAA school. They beat Providence Academy 42-31.
Tyson gets it, told you so. I mean, he told us. I doubted him. I'm a big dumb idiot. Really good win for Franklin Christian. Congratulations on your first win, first of hopefully many to come.
Yep. Ravenwood wins a wild one at Lipscomb Academy, 22-21. The Raptors needed a 2-point conversion to get it done.
Yeah, and shout out to Tyson. Tyson, he picked Lipscomb, I'm pretty sure, and we kind of all thought, "What are you doing?" I know that's what I thought anyway.
He picked Lipscomb out of spite. He's never going to pick Ravenwood.
Yeah, that's an on-brand pick for him.
But this was a great football game. Cam Blivens is a dog. That's just all there is to it. He absolutely mossed one of the Raptors DBs to put Lipscomb up at one point in the game, and then another game where Ravenwood scores late and they go for 2 in the win and they get it.
Is a little concerning for Ravenwood back-to-back weeks. Last week they had to come back from a 17-point deficit. This week against a Lipscomb Academy team that, Lipscomb Academy is hit or miss. It's tough figuring out what this team is with everything they've lost to graduation, to transfers. J.C. White had a pretty good night from everything I've seen. But Ravenwood has the team, like we consider them a 6A favorite, and to struggle in a game like this, it's a little concerning.
Yeah, Femi was 13-26 passing for 138 yards and a touchdown. I think they had a few. The running share of the running was split up. I know Maverick Chance had some rushing yards, but talking about J.C. White, he was 17-26 for 182 touchdowns. Also had 10 carries for 91 yards. But Cam Blivens, 7 catches, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's a beast.
He's one of the best receivers in our league and in our state area. And again, we said it last week about Columbia, the Columbia University. They got Caden Marable coming. They got Nate Fleming coming. They also have Cam Blivens coming.
Ivy League is going to be trembling, I think.
Ravenwood, they've got Green Hill next week. They've got CPA later on in the year. I mean, they're winning games the way they have to. When you get behind you, it's gritty wins for them, and that's going to serve them well, I think. But yeah, I see the point about being a little concerned early.
Well, you got 2 teams next week for our spotlight game, and Ravenwood and Green Hill that are looking to make statements after not great showings this week.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting.
Moving on, Red Bowling Springs now 0-2. They fall Lookout Valley 25-6.
For everything we say about Cam getting things right, Cam picked Red Bowling Springs, dummy. Lookout Valley gets the job done here. I'm surprised you didn't pick a Yellow Jackets team, Cam. What are you doing?
Red Bowling Springs beat Lookout Valley 58-0 last season.
Well, that was last season. Do some research.
Yeah. Yeah, rough start.
That may need to be a shirt somewhere.
Yeah.
A rough start for
the idea.
For the Bulldogs. Just a rough start.
I'm gonna message Jess right now to talk about that shirt. Actually,
Station Camp wins a wild one over Rockville, 32-31.
Yeah, and Connor, the mayor of Antioch, was sweating it on the sideline. At one point, I think Rockville was up 28-17 late in the second half, and Station Camp put together a late barrage and was able to move to 2-0. This Station Camp offense is pretty good.
Yeah, this is a really intriguing team. I really want to get a chance to get out and see them play because they look like a fun offensive team to cover.
Yeah.
Lebanon wins 35-2 over Siegel.
Scorigami. I've never seen that score before.
It's a 3. That's 35-3. TSSAA had it wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not on you.
They ruined my day. That would
That
have
was-
been origami. I hate them. I'm just kidding.
Why can't we just let it be? I mean,
Yeah. Well,
Lebanon
I'm
rolling
sorry. I'm sorry.
This is your
Doggone it.
God.
It's all my fault. It was a field goal. It was a field goal that Siegel had made.
That 1, 2, 3 in the region between Lebanon, Gallatin, and Green Hill is going to be very, very interesting, boys, because Lebanon looks the part right now.
Their running back, Azeda, 21 carries, 117 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 receptions for 16, and another. They've got a really solid quarterback in Austin Harrison, 219 yards passing on 13 of 20 and 2 touchdowns. Lebanon is a real threat in that region.
Mm-hmm.
Smyrna, a 31-20 winner at Hendersonville. The Bulldogs get their first win in 2025.
Yeah, this is the game Isaac was at last night. Hendersonville led there for a little bit before Smyrna got going. Smyrna with the big game upcoming, I believe. I think they play Oakland this week. So big region opener for them to go against a team that everybody considers one of the top 2 in the state.
Smyrna, Zay McCarver had 91-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. R.J. Williams, 7 carries, 105 yards, and a touchdown.
Greenbrier in the win column. They beat Sycamore 25-22.
Huge win for the Bobcats. They did not win a game last year. Really good for that program to get on the board. Sycamore, that's tough. That's rough.
Yeah.
Ezo Harding 36-8 over the Tennessee Heat.
Juju Murdoch had a pretty big night, Scott, I believe.
Yeah, he did. 6 of 11 for 169 and 2 touchdowns. Sam Good, 3 catches, 126 yards, 2 touchdowns for Ezel Harding. Good win for them. Gets them back in the win column.
Gordonsville over Watertown 17-6. The Tigers 2-0.
You know, if Isaac just picked, I understand why he didn't pick the Tigers in this one. He went with the Purple Tigers. But if he just stopped picking Watertown, he'd be so much better.
Hey, I'm just going to say this. Joe, you want to pick at my school for not being real. Well, there's no such thing as a Purple Tiger. So
the problem is, Cam, I've been to Watertown. I've walked around the town. I know it exists. Supposedly.
Hold on. Well, we just took that trip to Macon County and went through Hartsville. You saw the signs.
I was asleep.
I'm calling BS on that right now.
I was asleep.
You saw the signs that have more state championship years on it than your
I got pulled
team.
over in Hartsville.
Oh, it was dark.
I got pulled over in Hartsville.
It was dark out. I didn't know where we were at.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That's what all
lies.
those teams used to say too.
Lies, all damn lies. Let's go. White House.
Cam. Just to make your point, I've never seen a purple yellow jacket either.
Well, we're not a purple yellow jacket.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap this thing up. White House wins at DeKalb County 20-13.
Good win for the Blue Devils. Honestly, this one, I don't think any of us picked this.
Pretty sure we all lost this one.
Yeah, really good bounce back win for White House.
Yep. And finally, Whites Creek beats Charleston County 40-10.
Oof. Ouch. That sucks.
This is a testament to what I've been trying to tell you guys about Whites Creek. They're really talented on offense.
Because they beat Trousdale?
Because they put up 40 both weeks throughout the season, and they have 2 sophomores that are studs.
They're legit. They are legit. They're really good. That region to me is so interesting with them. It's you got about 3 teams that can. I mean, I think White House Heritage is probably the favorite there. But yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, it's looking more and more like that. Well, I don't know if it's the last week of the season or not, but that Heritage Whites Creek game could be a cover game for us.
Potentially.
Who knows? Still a long way to go in this season. We're just 2 weeks through it. So that is all for the 615 Prep Scoreboard this morning. I know a lot of you are going to want to see Lee Corso's final headgear pick on game day here in a little bit. So make sure and watch that and get ready for college football. Big day.
It's a great day. It's a great day.
All right, folks.
It's a day.
Thank you so much for joining us for the 615 Prep Scoreboard. We're out of here. We'll see you back Wednesday night at 7 o'clock for 615 Preps Live. For Cam, Scott, and Joe, I'm Chris. We're out.